Well, good evening and welcome to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. I'm Chris Gay, joined by my color analyst, Chase Hartzell, and we have a Tiger versus Tiger matchup here at Bill Vining Arena on the campus of Ouachita Baptist University. It is the East Central Tigers coming in as the visitors. Ouachita, of course, hosting. Chase, this should be a great matchup. These are two teams that have really struggled so far this season, especially in their last few games. Just look at their record right quick. East Central, 5 of 7. Their last game was a loss to Southern Arkansas, 62-78. And of course, they are 1-4 in their last 5, losing on an average of 21 points in those losses. So they're definitely trying to, have a bounce back in a way. 1-7 so far in the conference. And then for Ouachita, right at 500, 6-6, 4-4 in Great American Conference play. Their last game was a 55-66 loss at Southwestern Oklahoma State. So Chase, I think you can agree both of these teams trying to get back into the win column tonight.
A win tonight would certainly be a momentum booster for either of these teams in the battle of the Tigers here at Bill Vining Arena. You take a look at the Great American Conference standings. Ouachita just hanging on with one of the 8 qualifying spots. It's a tight race up the middle right now. You see there a 4-way tie for 4th place. Oklahoma Baptist right behind, just 1 game back. East Central's right there tied for 6th, but you start to string together a couple wins, you're right back into the fray for the fight for one of those 8 spots. So for East Central, this is an opportunity to try to right the ship a little bit, gain some momentum going into the rest of conference play, pick up a big win. However, for the Tigers out of Ada, Oklahoma, this is really a unique test for them because they haven't been on the road much this season. This is just their 5th road game of the year. We're reaching the midway point of the conference season next week, but this is just the 5th road game for the Tigers. They're 1-3 in their 4 previous matchups on the road. For the Ouachita Tigers, the friendly confines of Bill Vining Arena have certainly been friendly this year because they have a winning record here at home, 4-3, 4 of their 6 victories on the season coming right here in front of the home fans.
Well, let's take a look at some of the other action going on in the GAC just tonight. Southwestern Oklahoma State will be at Harding. Oklahoma Baptist will be at Arkansas Monticello. Arkansas Tech will be hosting Northwestern Oklahoma State. Henderson State, just right across the street, is hosting Southeastern Oklahoma State, who Ouachita will be facing this Saturday. And then Southern Arkansas is hosting the undefeated team, the lone undefeated team in the conference, Southern Nazarene. And what a season they have had, 14-0, 8-0 in the conference play. Definitely a team that no one wants to play against so far this season. Very, very dangerous. But looking ahead at some of the leading scorers for both Tiger teams, Mackenzie Crusoe has been on a tear so far this season. And I don't want to say that she's the one player on this Tiger team that's really been doing anything, but she's definitely been carrying the load for sure.
Well, you look at Crusoe's stats for the season. She has more than double the field goal attempts of any of her teammates, currently sitting at 159. The next highest value belongs to Natalie Payne, who has actually just over 70 at 72 on the season. For Crusoe, respectable numbers, shooting 36% from the field and just over 30% from three-point range, but there are also some sharpshooters waiting in the wings. One player that stood out to me was Kaylee Alt, the team leader in three-point percentage. She's attempted 34 threes, making 15 for a 44.1% clip from three-point range. Look for her to take advantage of some opportunities from around the arc this game.
Well, Kennedy Cummings is currently the 2nd leading scorer on this Tiger team, and of course she is just averaging 8 points per game on the season, but that last game in their loss, she did star with 18 points, as well as Kaylee Alt, who had 16. Now for the Ouachita Tigers, Lainey Mears leading the way with 14 points per game. Grayson Fairless, as you can see, is right under the 6 rebounds per game margin. And Mears, though they did have a disappointing loss against the Bulldogs last week, she definitely was a bright spot with 22 points in that loss.
And you may notice tonight that Lainey Mears is wearing some tape on her face. She actually took a spill in that physical battle at SWOSU, so she's got that tape on there tonight, healing up a chin. Got a pretty nasty cut on the fall, but she's going to be all right. She's ready to play here tonight at Bill Vining Arena.
Well, Dr. Casey Model is set to to
Tiger Nation,
announce the starting
welcome
lineup,
to
so
Bill
stick
Vining
around
Arena
for that.
tonight's Great American Conference Contest, featuring the Tigers of East Central University against your Ouachita Tigers. At this time, we invite you to stand for our national anthem. And now introducing the starting lineup for the East Central University Tigers. Freshman guard from Shawnee, Oklahoma, number 0, Mackenzie Herman. Junior guard from Moore, Oklahoma, number 1, Kennedy Cummings. Graduate forward from Baldwin City, Kansas, number 14, Kate Ogle. Senior guard from Choctaw, Oklahoma, number 20, Mackenzie Crusoe. And freshman guard from Pryor, Oklahoma, number 22, Kaylee Alt. The head coach of the East Central Tigers is Heather Hurt. The assistant coach is Caitlin Hodgins. Also assistant coach, Jeff McGahey. And now, Tiger Nation, let me hear you roar! This is the starting lineup for your Ouachita Tigers. Sophomore guard from Arlington, Texas, number 10, Samantha Woodson. Sophomore guard from Beebe, Arkansas, number 13, Joey Babel. Sophomore forward from Mena, Arkansas, number 20, Grayson Fearless. Sophomore guard from Bologna, Arkansas, number 23, Madeline Tipton. And junior guard from Bologna, Arkansas, number 22, Lainey Mears. The head coach of the Ouachita Tigers is Robert Dallimore. The assistant coach is Nate Davis. Tonight's officials are Tammy D'Souza, Keith Wells, and Barry Hickinbotham.
Well, there you have it for the starting lineups for both Tiger teams. We're just about ready for tip-off. Now, I will mention that Heidi Robinson, Ouachita's second leading scorer, is not playing this game. It appears she's sitting out with an injury, so that's going to be a big loss again for Ouachita. And as you can see, that Lainey Mears also has that bandage, as you mentioned, Chase, on her chin. So they're not exactly too short-handed, but they still, kind of a rough game, against the Bulldogs last week. But we are just set for tip here. Ogle and Fearless wins the tip. Here's Watson. Pulls it back out. Here's Tipton. Mears. Babel. Inside to Fearless. Good pump fake. Inside, no good. But Babel gets the board. There is a whistle. Not exactly sure what the call is. I think there may have been a problem with the shot clock. Yeah, I believe that's what it was. They took off 6 seconds. Here's Tipton driving, looking outside. Here's Babel. Here's Mears, got to put it up. She doesn't know the shot clock is expiring, and it did. I think taking off those 6 seconds really messed up the Tigers there. Well, here's Herman. Cummings had 18 points in their last game. And nice job by Tipton with the steal. And here's Babel. Tipton spinning, and East Central gets a piece of it. Tipton wide open up top, though, for three. No good. Fairless with the offensive board. And it's going to be a jump ball. It will be East Central possession here. East Central. Kennedy Cummings bringing it up. Guarded by Babel. Here's Alt looking for a teammate. Here's Crusoe. Inside to Cummings. Cummings backing down Babel inside. And it's going to be Ouachita basketball. May have gotten away with a little bit of a travel, but regardless, it is Ouachita ball.
That was some great clean defense there from Joey Babel under the basket. An undersized defender, she was able to get a clean block on the ball, but it also deflected off of the East Central shooter. Just an excellent possession there from the Tiger guard.
Here's Tipton. Thought about it, driving baseline, inside to Fairless. Fairless, good physical play, but that will be an offensive foul by Grayson Fairless. Discharged her shoulder into Ogle there, and that will be the first foul from either team. Here's Crusoe, averaging a team-high 16 points per game. Guarded by Watson, loses it though. Mears with the ball. Here's Tipton, inside to Fairless. And now, one of the Tiger teams have scored for the first time tonight. Ouachita leading 2-0 here. Cummings, fast break mid-range shot is good. It's tied it up here at 2. Here's Watson. Tipton to Babel. Babel inside, out to Mears, wide open for three. Short and long on the right. Cummings. And thought for a second that was going to be an easy run out for Ouachita, but Mears is called for the reach-in foul as Brooke Smith and Abby Harrison have checked into the ball game. Madeline Tipton and Grayson Fairless are checking out.
And it looks like the ECU Tigers tonight looking to try to keep things up-tempo throughout the game. Their only 2 points thus far have been on transition points. However, when you play up-tempo, you also run the risk of making mistakes, and the Tigers have capitalized with a few turnovers. Turnover margin is going to be key tonight in what is already shaping up to be a close contest.
Here's Ogle to Crusoe. Herman. Cummings. Crusoe for three, no good. Mears with the board. And looked like for a second that could have been a foul there up top, but Mears does just throw it away. Here's Herman. Picked up full court by Mears. Ouachita going with the early press. Here's Crusoe driving inside, kick out to her teammate for three, no good. And Harrison does come away with a board, bounce it off Crusoe's head for a second. Babel inside, tough drive, and will go to the free throw line. It's going to be Fogel, her first personal of the game.
Shooting two belongs on 13, Joey Babel.
Babel shooting 80% from the free throw line this season. And I will say, Chase, that Joey Babel had her moments last year as a freshman for Ouachita, but this season as a sophomore has just made so many improvements. And what jumps out to me is that she's one of the shortest players on the court at any given time, but she's still averaging about 4 rebounds per game, and one of those are coming from the offensive glass. And she's already gotten active on the offensive glass. Just such a valuable weapon that, Coach Dallimore can use.
One for Babel, it started in the off-season. She won Player of the Week many times during the offseason, and the thing is, she may not be the tallest player on the floor, but she's also one of the strongest players on the floor, which allows her to win those battles for the boards.
Good closeout by Babel, but the bank is open, and Herman gets on the board with that 3. Watson to Babel. Babel, mid-range shot, off to the right. It's tracked down by Alt. Crusoe, behind the back move is nice. Good ball movement inside by the Tigers, and they get 2 out of it.
Well, that appears to be the recipe for success thus far for ECU, trying to draw the defense in on the dribbler in the middle of the key and then kick it out to another teammate that's open in the flats, or in that case, down on the block.
Babel looking for a teammate. Mears is wide open again for 3. No good that time. And Alt tracks down the board. 4-point lead by ECU. And good defense by Babel, and that's going to be Ouachita basketball. As Grayson Williams checking in for the first time tonight. Madeline Tipton checking back in. Mears and Watson going to take a seat. Looks like Babel's going to run some of the point. Harrison, just her second game back from injury. Here's Williams, good ball movement. Tipton, back to Williams. Babel on the wing, cross-court pass to Smith. Williams just kind of throws it up, and that's going to be an offensive foul by Grayson Williams. Good positioning by the Tiger defenders. And we're going to have our first timeout of the game. We'll stick around as East Central has a 4-point lead over Ouachita here with 4:57 left to play in the first quarter of action. So stick around for more Tiger basketball action here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
At Taylor King Law, we understand that being injured can be a stressful and overwhelming experience.
And that's why we're here to help you every step of the way.
As your dedicated legal team, we'll stand by your side when you're being ignored.
We'll be on your side to fight for the compensation you deserve.
Don't let the insurance companies intimidate you. Let us go to work for you.
Call us today and let us help you get back on the road to recovery.
On your side, by your side. When you've been injured, we're here for you.
7-3 is your score. Ouachita trailing by 4 with 4:57 left to play in the first quarter of action. And Chase, it's kind of a slow game to start out. What are your initial thoughts about what we've seen from, in our Tiger versus Tiger matchup?
Well, I said that the turnover margin was going to be key in this one, and that has been the case. ECU currently leading that margin 5-3. To their benefit, Ouachita has 5 turnovers charged to it, including 2 off of a charge. The Tigers have done a great job of taking one for the team down in the paint. They've been able to take the traffic, use it to their advantage. They bear the brunt of the contact, and that's resulted in a couple of turnovers already. The Tigers have also had a lot of success drawing attention up the middle with dribblers. We'll see if that's the same here with Crusoe. The key has been getting it inside and then kicking it out to an open teammate.
And Crusoe loses it for just a second. Cummings has it off her foot. Here's Malone, who just checked in. Weiberg averaging about 7 points per game, the third leading scorer for East Central, and that's a traveling violation in Ouachita basketball. Well, in these types of grinded out tough games, defense is going to be key for both teams, and Ouachita's defense came up with a big play there. Freshman Michael Russell checking in, and Laney Mears checking back in. Here's Russell up top. Fairless looking for Mears. And it's going to be an illegal screen. And I think they're going to give it to Grayson Williams. It's going to be her first foul of the night. Here's Crusoe. Malone up top. Looking inside to Cummings. Cummings back to Crusoe. Here's Cummings. And good defense again by Ouachita. And now they're getting out to run. Here's Tipton. Pulls up for a jumper. It's contested. And no good. And they're going to give a second personal to Grayson Williams on the loose ball foul. Take a look again at this fast break opportunity. Tipton. You know, it was a contested shot for sure, and you can see where the foul did occur. It's kind of a late whistle. And looks like Audrey Winfrey's going to sub in. Grayson Williams is going to check out with those 2 early fouls.
Winfrey, the former Lake Hamilton Wolf. She's not your traditional forward. You know, you see Grayson Fairless as well as Abby Harris play more of that traditional post play. For Winfrey, she's one that's not afraid to go out of her comfort zone and go to the jump shots. That's something that she really worked on in the offseason. And she's been excellent in the mid-range and has even started to pick things up in three-point land as well this season.
Yeah, just shooting 20% from beyond the arc, but still becoming more and more comfortable with it as East Central has another fast break opportunity. Ouachita catches up. Here's Cummings inside to Malone, and Malone, and a nice drive there. Contact, but no foul. And here's Russell to Mears. Mears dialing it up from 3, no good. Still neither team, or excuse me, Ouachita still has not found their mark from beyond the arc. Here's Cummings. Shot by Weiberg, no good. Fairless with the board. Fairless taking it full court. Here's Winfrey. The short jumper is good. Just the second basket for Ouachita in this game with 2:38 left to play in the first period. Here's Payne. Back out. 3 is no good by Weiberg. Here's Russell. Tipton, and that's going to be an offensive foul. You can see immediately where that left forearm extended. Ouachita having a lot of trouble with those offensive fouls here.
We'll get another look at it here. They're going to say that Tipton extended that elbow. That was the reason for the turnover. It wasn't a traditional charge, but more so initiated contact by Tipton.
Here's Winfrey bringing the ball up the court. Mears driving baseline, going to pick up the blocking foul on Weiberg. It's just going to be her first foul of the game. Samantha Watson, Joey Babel checking back in, and so is Abby Harrison. Fairless, Tipton, and Russell all checking out.
Number 23, Madeline Tipton, and number 20, Grayson Fairless.
Watson on the wing. Here's Mears driving left, trying to find a teammate. Here's Winfrey. A nice cut by Mears, trying to find Harrison. It's deflected off an East Central Tiger. It was good initial ball movement by Mears and Winfrey. Just 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
You could see Dallimore giving the signs for an inbound play.
Babel just has to toss it up, does hit rim, but East Central is able to come away with the board. Here's Cummings. Guarded by Babel.
Weiberg was looking for the backdoor cut that time. She did manage to get to the wing, but the Tigers didn't get the cut that they were looking for.
Crusoe spinning. Fadeaway is good. Nice play by Mackenzie Crusoe. Here's Watson. Floater, little jumper is good. Samantha Watson finds the bottom of the net for the first time today. The jumper by Ogle's no good. And here's Babel looking for Mears. Mears to Winfrey. And they're going to try to take as much time off the clock as possible. Just hardly a difference between the shot and game clock right now. Here's Watson to Winfrey. Open in the corner for three. No good. Just 2 seconds left now. Crusoe has to throw it up, and it goes right just about into the stands. Almost hits one of our camera guys. Well, that's going to do it for the first period of action. A very slow and low-scoring affair so far, but stick around for the next quarter of action here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
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 Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Ouachita. How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Welcome back to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. We have Tiger women's basketball, Great American Conference action here at Bill Vining Arena. I'm Chris Gay, joined by Chase Hartzell. Chase, again, low-scoring affair, but Ouachita has kept it close.
They have, and it's been a struggle from the field. Tigers shooting just over 20% as a team. The shot's not falling right now. 0 for 7 from 3, but you have to feel like if those shots start to fall, a lot of things could go the Tigers' way. The turnover margin has evened up a little bit. And, Chris, looking at the stats for this ECU team, this is the kind of game that they want to be in. They want to be in a low-scoring affair. It reminds me of the win that they had against UAM just a few days ago. That was back on January 11th, a week ago today. They won that one 49-45, their only win of Great American Conference play up to this point. This is a team that thus far in GAC play has capped out at 60 points in scoring for a game. So if the Tigers can keep them below that magic number and find a way to achieve that themselves, you got to be feeling pretty good about your chances.
Well, not only do they average about 60 points per game, but their opponents average about 60 points per game. So grinded out games, low-scoring games, that's sort of the norm when you're playing against East Central. Here's Mears, gets a good look, step back, well, sidestep, no good, and it's going to belong to East Central. Again, Mears has been getting the looks, just none of them have fallen so far.
And one thing I've noticed about both teams is that they've struggled a little bit when the defense gets set. A lot of the points have been coming in transition when you have that opportunity to find open teammates before the defense is fully in position. So look for both teams to keep it up-tempo to try to create more of those opportunities.
Crusoe, contested shot, no good. Here's Watson. Mears, 4-3, no good, short that time. You just know that at some point one of those is going to fall, and the Ouachita faithful going to get up on their feet. Here's Herman. Crusoe. Weiberg for three, and that's going to be a foul. I think that's going to be on Joey Babel. Went right into Weiberg. take a look at it here.
Setting up Ouachita, number 23, Madeline Tipton.
It was good initial defense by Babel, and then just an easy call by the officials to make. Well, Weiberg knocks down her first free throw. She's shooting 85% from the line so far this season. Definitely not someone you want to send to the free throw line who has 3 shots coming their way, as she's 2 of 2 so far.
Weiberg, also one of the top distributors for this offense, tied for the team lead in assists with 18.
Weiberg goes perfect, a 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Ouachita trailing by 7. Cross-court pass to Smith, inside to Harrison. Harrison to Babel. Babel, open mid-range shot is good.
Excellent spacing from the Tigers on that possession, using ECU's strategy against them a little bit, using a post player to draw in the defensive attention, and then Joey Babel was looming just inside the arc. Gets a great look and finishes it off with a great shot.
And Babel is now Ouachita's leading scorer in this game with just 3 points. Here's Herman inside to Ogle, and Watson with the steal, fast break opportunity, and that may have been tipped by the ECU defender. Ouachita has not had a lot of fast break opportunities, and they haven't exactly capitalized on many of them, just like that one.
Well, and that was excellent transition defense by Mackenzie Crusoe, the senior out of Choctaw, Oklahoma. You can see that she's locked in tonight, always aware of what's going on the floor, and that time able to get back in transition to prevent what would have been an easy 2 points for Watson.
Here's Crusoe, and she loses it, and that's going to be Ouachita basketball. Took a spill just for a second, but Ouachita, their defense has been keying in on Crusoe. She just has 2 points in this game. Has missed 3 of her shots, both of her 3-point attempts, as Michael Russell checks in. Here's Russell. Babel driving left, out to Fairless. Fairless, short jumper, bounces in. A nice shooter's roll there from Grayson Fairless.
The recipe for success continues for Ouachita. This time Babel on the flip side of things. She's the one driving to the basket, is able to draw the attention off herself, and then finds Fairless in the mid-range. She's wide open.
Well, wide open is Crusoe for 3, and that one is good. That's Crusoe's first 3 of the game. Their leading scorer trying to get going here in just the second quarter. Here's Fairless. Fairless, nice spin, but no good on the shot, blocked away. Crusoe lost it for a second, gets it back. Smith diving on the floor, can't get it, but Crusoe for 3, no good there. Good effort by the freshman, and here's Tipton. And Tipton loses it. Crusoe back the other way. You know, that's always difficult to do, defending on a 2-on-1 fast break. And Ouachita loses it again, just sticky fingers right now, or excuse me, butterfingers right now, frankly. And Coach Dallimore not really liking what he's seeing right now. He's going to call a timeout here. We'll stick around as Ouachita going to try to find their way out from this 10-point deficit here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Visit the Ouachita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Ouachita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Ouachita campus store. Go Tigers.
Ouachita trailing by 10 with 6:09 left to play in the second period. And Chase, you and I were talking about it in the break. What does Ouachita have to do? Or, they were just down by 5, and then they just gave up a nice run for East Central. What allowed East Central to come away with points in a hurry?
Well, I think this is a timeout from Coach Dalmore to kind of take a deep breath, regain composure. The Tigers were trying to break the defense of ECU by going up-tempo and finding those openings. However, as a result of that speed, the Tigers started to get a little bit sloppy with the ball. That's what allowed ECU to capitalize on those turnovers. And again, we've talked about it tonight. For ECU, the key has been points in transition. When you're creating a lot of turnovers, that creates even more opportunities for those transition points. So Ouachita trying not to tone it down too much here in terms of tempo, because this is a team that when it gets set on defense is very talented. It's finding that balance.
Here's Smith up top. Fairless going to take the contested mid-range shot, no good. Here's Cummings. Here's Alt. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Ogle. I think she may have just been off balance there, but it will be offensive foul call in Ouachita basketball.
Ogle, it did look like she got a bit tied up there trying to set the screen. However, she's been one of the top defenders tonight for the Tigers. Already 2 blocks to her credit down low.
Here's Watson. Smith to Williams. Mears up top, inside to Fairless. Working on the elbow, and that's going to be a traveling violation by Grayson Fairless. It's going to be her 3rd turnover of the game. She's really struggled trying to get anything going for herself.
Tigers now into double digits for turnovers here in the first half, 10 on the game.
And that's still going to stay with East Central. Ouachita trying to draw the offensive foul. Herman set the throw in. Here's Cummings. To Alt in the corner for 3, no good. Cummings gets it back. Herman, nice pass fake, jumper inside, no good. Ogle with the board, or excuse me, that's Payne. Payne's baby hook is good for her first basket of this game. Here's Watson to Smith. Fairless. Here's Mears. She's going to take the wide open triple, and it connects. Lainey Mears, her first 3-pointer of the game. Actually, her first basket of this contest was 0 of 5 before that make, and maybe Ouachita will wake up a little bit here on offense.
Well, we knew it was a matter of when, not a matter of if, Lainey Mears was going to get that shot to fall at some point tonight. We'll see if she can gain momentum from that first make and continue to carry it out through the rest of this first half.
And it's going to be 3 seconds in the lane for East Central. Ouachita basketball. East Central having some problems with turnovers here. Though Ouachita has broken double digits, 4 turnovers with 10. East Central's not too far behind with 8 of their own. Here's Fairless to Mears. And it's going to be an offensive foul by Fairless.
Ouachita, number 24, Grayson Williams.
Will be on that screen. Actually, they're saying Grayson Williams. I don't know about that. I think they got the wrong number. It's supposed to be Grayson Fairless. And it's going to be a blocking foul on Lainey Mears.
And Mears was trying to draw the push off that time, but the official didn't see it that way. Looked like Mears was unable to get her feet set. Yeah, but you could see that that left foot was moving just a little bit. The official was right there to make the call. Not a bad idea, though, for Mears trying to draw the turnover.
Crusoe double teamed immediately on the floor. Bodies all over the floor. And it's going to be a jump ball. Possession will stay with East Central. Now, before Mears' foul, they gave Grayson Williams with that foul. I don't know if they credited the right player. I could not tell. It looked like Grayson Fairless committed a foul. But if that stands, then that's going to be 4 personals on Grayson Williams. One more, and she's done, and we just have 3:34 left to play in this first half. Inside to Crusoe. Crusoe falls to the deck, and it's another East Central turnover. Here's Williams. Inside to Fairless. She can't hold on, and it's a Ouachita turnover. Seems like everybody's slipping on the floor, maybe a little slick. And that's going to be a push-off, and Lainey Mears is going to pick up the offensive foul. Or excuse me, Cummings is going to pick up the offensive foul. Great positioning by the veteran Mears. You can see it here. Yep, that forearm extended. Mears sold it, especially with that fall. And it's going to be Ouachita basketball.
Well, and that's where you really see the veteran status of Mears on display. Didn't quite get in the position that the official needed for the call previously, so Mears able to adjust her stance. She's able to bring clear attention to the elbow the second time.
Here's Mears, thought about it. Mid-range shot, no good. Winfrey fighting for it. Babel comes away with it. Mears open from 3. It's good! Lainey Mears, her second triple of this game. And oh no, we have an East Central player on the ground. I think that might be Cummings. Can't tell exactly what happened there. But I believe she may have collided with either a teammate or one of the Ouachita Tigers, as the referees are signaling to take a look at this last play. Cummings is up, which is good, and walking to the bench. But we're going to take a few looks at this last possession here.
Subbing in for East Central, number 21, Tatum Havens.
On Mears' shot, you can see Cummings hit the deck pretty hard. And the officials, I don't think there was a foul either way. I'm not sure. They didn't take very long to look at the monitor. Still waiting on word. And I don't believe anything heinous happened on that play. I don't think there was even going to be a common foul. Just kind of looked like Cummings took a hard spill, but doesn't look like it was a foul. She will check out the game just for the moment, probably. And here's Alt. Excuse me, this is Tatum Havens up top. Here's Alt, guarded by Mears. Payne inside, just throws up a wild shot. Here's Mears. Mears off the screen from Harrison. Back to Mears. Mears, tough mid-range shot, no good. Winfrey with the offensive glass, wild on that shot. Must have slipped out of her hands.
That looked to be the case there. It was a great job of Winfrey able to sneak in and get into position for the board. And then it looked like she was going up for the shot. Something was awkward with the motion there as the ball went up much higher than anticipated.
Here's Havens inside. Harrison pokes it out, and now it's Ouachita basketball. Here's Watson, tries to spin inside. Babel out to Watson. Watson baseline, inside to Harrison. Harrison shot is good. Good ball movement by Ouachita, and ECU wants a chance to talk it over. Well, great ball movement possession by Ouachita, and now they're trailing by just 4. Well, stick around for the remaining 131 of this first half of action here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
19-23 is your score. Ouachita trailing by 4 with 1:31 left to play in the second quarter. And Chase, we've seen a little bit of a surge from Ouachita, and I think you can give credit to that to Lainey Mears.
She's improved her shooting from beyond the arc. You can see her confidence boosting as we go throughout this game, but also it's been a matter of spacing the floor. The reason that she has those shots is because the Tigers have done a much better job of spacing the floor here in the second quarter of play. That's allowed for those open three-pointers. And as we said before, it was only a matter until they started to fall.
Crusoe's shot is short. And here's Babel. Here's Mears. Mears inside to Harrison. Comes away with it. And shot won't count. Will be a foul before the shot. It's going to be on, that foul's going to be on Weiberg, her second. And it's going to be another East Central personal foul. That one's going to be on Herman. That's just her first personal, and just like I thought, Cummings is coming back into the game.
Well, this is a physical ECU team, and they've been relatively clean for the most part, but at times you do run into that where if you play physical defense, you're going to pick up some fouls. This happens to be one of those times for the Tigers.
Babel looking for a teammate. Here's Mears up top. Just under 10 on the shot clock. Mears to Harrison. Harrison's got to put it up. Harrison lefty shot, no good. Cummings tracks down the board. Here's Crusoe, picked up full court by Watson. Here's Cummings, hounded by Babel. Out to Weiberg for 3. Shot won't count as an offensive foul by Cummings. Great position again by, you guessed it, Lainey Mears. Another, picks up another charge there. Take a look at it. Cummings, she does pass it. Can't really see around the official, but Lainey Mears had perfect possession to pick up that charge. With just under 10 seconds left to go in the second quarter, out to Mears. Mears for 3, wide open, no good. And that's going to do it for this first half of action. Ouachita trailing by just 4. And we're going to actually have a chance to talk with a special guest, Jeff Jackson. But before that, we're going to take a little bit of a break, but stick around for my interview with Ouachita's new softball coach, Jeff Jackson.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
And welcome back to Ouachita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law. I'm Chris Gay, and I'm joined by a very special guest, the new Ouachita softball coach, Jeff Jackson. Coach, how have you been doing? How are you doing?
Yeah, appreciate it. Doing great. We've had a really good fall. Girls are working hard, and they jumped right into everything Coach Kuntz and I brought to them this fall, and looking forward to getting these girls out on the field here in a couple weeks.
Well, I've noticed that this team, what you've done immediately is you've gotten out into the community and gotten involved in the community. What has that meant to you and to the team and really to everyone that you've been able to interact with?
Yeah, it was important to me to create a sense of community, not only within our roster, but we're part of Arkadelphia, and I wanted to make sure that the community in Arkadelphia knew that OBU softball is here. We've got a product that we want them to come watch, and we wanted to kind of create a brand in the community, and we did that by making sure we focused on community service and getting out and meeting the people and working with them throughout the fall, and just to make sure they know we're here and we support community, and in return we hope they come support us.
Well, I know you're coming out of the DFW area, but your daughter, Natalie, is a Ouachita graduate and also a 3-year starter. Previously was a 3-year starter for the Ouachita softball team, so I know Ouachita means a lot to you and your family, but this is your first college softball coaching job, if I'm correct, and what has this opportunity meant for you?
Yes, so from a softball coaching perspective, the game's the game. Whatever level you coach at or play at, the game doesn't change. It just gets faster and better as you go up in the ranks. But for me, this opportunity to come here and lead this group of athletes, knowing my daughter had just a great experience, not only from a softball perspective, but at this school, it means a tremendous lot. I'm thankful to Coach Sharp for giving me this opportunity. And we had talked about this about 5 years ago when Mike McGee passed, and it just wasn't the right time, and this summer was the right time. God kind of knocked on both of Coach Sharp and my door at the same time and said, let's do this.
So since you are coming in, first-year head coach, what are you trying to establish culture-wise, or what's going to be the identity that you at least intend to establish?
Yeah, we've worked hard on ensuring that the girls know that we win and lose as a team. Very individual game, but we all have roles and responsibilities, but it's a team game. And I don't know what our brand's going to look like on the field. Other than that, we're gonna work to be fundamentally sound. GAC is a very fast conference. They play the game fast and powerful. So we want to match that speed. And I'm not talking about foot speed. I'm talking about just the game itself. So we've worked really hard over the fall to make sure our bodies are ready to go and we're explosive enough to compete in the conference.
Well, how do you feel that your experience, you've spent a lot of time in high school softball as well as, AAU softball. I suppose it's called AAU softball.
I think we call it travel or select.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Right,
yeah.
okay. You spent a lot of time in those two areas. How's that experience going to help you coming into your first season in college?
Yeah, so, coaching at the high school or the travel ball level at the 18U level, my job was to get those girls ready to compete at this level. So I feel like, the relationships I developed with that with some college coaches and been around the college game for a lot of years as I was getting my girls ready to move on to the next step. So a lot of the same things that we work on at the high school and 18U level, we do here. It's just the best of the best when you get to this level. And the one thing, we're a very young team. We've got 11 freshmen on a roster of 27. That's a lot. And I don't have a whole lot of girls that have been on the dirt at Division II softball level. So getting them acclimated to the speed of the game has really been our goal this fall.
Well, Coach, season starts in February. You excited?
Yeah, super excited. I know there's a countdown on our OBUTigers.com website, but there's a countdown in my head too. as it gets closer, the nights get longer, harder to sleep. But Coach Kuntz and I feel very confident in the roster we have, and we can't wait to host the McGee-Hawkins tournament February 2nd.
But yeah, talk about that tournament. What are you expecting to see from some of the opposing teams in that tournament?
So Coach Martinez and I across the street met early on and decided we wanted to continue the tradition of that tournament. Important to honor those two gentlemen. And with some of his contacts, we reached out to some schools in Missouri, northern Oklahoma, that aren't in our conference. Kyle Lim from Monticello is coming up to help us host. They'll be playing in Hot Springs. So we've got 8 teams that'll work through a round robin over the weekend, and it's going to be a great start, great competition. There's some really good offensive teams coming in and some elite pitchers that we're going to face that first weekend.
Well, Coach, cannot wait to see your team on the field, and really excited to be able to cover and call a few of your games.
Appreciate it. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, Coach, thank you again. This is Coach Jeff Jackson, and, of course, in just under a month, we will be able to see this softball team, this new Ouachita softball team on the field performing. And can't wait, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, thank you. Well, stick around. In just 8 minutes, we'll have the second half of action of this Ouachita basketball game here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
My nail tech knows how to keep it a little secret. I don't wish for my success, I speak it. I caught a buzz and you did too, but you tweaking. I look like I've been getting money, how reeking. You smell me, that's LV.
I knew I would be undersized, and I would be in the minority in a lot of areas. I had my AAU coaches constantly telling me that, and telling me that work ethic had to always outbeat, because you're going to be smaller, you're going to be like probably the shortest one on the court in most areas.
I'm super hard on myself, so if I do get low, it's about myself. You know, when momentum is going in our way, I don't let that get in my head and get a big head. I like to just stay calm. I need people that like to get hype, I guess, but you also need the people that can keep everyone level and, you know, keep everybody else calm too.
I think sacrifice is putting your ego and your pride aside for someone else. And so I think that was like the hardest thing that I've had to do, being on this team, was just to accept my role and to understand that every role in a team is important and that no one's less than someone else just because they might not get 20 minutes on the court or score a bunch of threes. So
I was never the best player, and I always, eighth and ninth grade, I kind of sat the bench. 10th grade, even getting to high school, I sat the bench a lot, and so it just really motivated me to just keep working and keep getting better, and to just, I had my own journey, and I knew that everyone has their different journeys, and it's just been cool to see myself get better year after year, and now be good enough to play at the college level.
My identity, because a lot of people see me as a basketball player, and sometimes I let that affect me, and I gotta realize that I'm also just a normal human being and a person. So I feel like that's one of the biggest things that I face. Threes. Just shoot the three. Shoot the pull up, everything offense.
Close and they let it go while I reload. Like, bow, bow, bow. TSA just opened my book bag up and my chain hitting like, bow. King's back in his hometown when them wheels hit and I touch down, they bow, 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 bow. She down low, 3-point stands, I'm back there doing jack dance like bow, 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 bow.
Owned by OBU alumni, Java Primo is the official coffee house of Ouachita Tiger football. At Java Primo, amazing coffee is just the beginning. Try our great options at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and don't forget about our amazing desserts. Also, Shop Java Primo's gift selection 24/7 online at javaprimo.com.
Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of Bats and Signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, Bats and Signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, Bats and Signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia, on the campuses of Ouachita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, Bats and Sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia called Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Bats and Signs today to see what they can do for you.
Baseball for me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
I'm Rex Horn, the Interim Executive Director of the Arkansas Baptist State Convention, and today I'm joined by my friend Dylan, who is an attorney with the Arkansas Baptist Foundation, with an important word for you.
The foundation is here to help you support your Ouachita Tigers. If you'd like to create an estate plan that supports Ouachita and its mission, or learn about other giving opportunities, please contact us using the information below.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
We specialize in bringing the law to your corner. We are dedicated to understanding what results you want and to helping you understand what actions we can take on your behalf. With over 30 years of experience and a proven track record of success, Barry & Turnage is here to lead you down a path to the results you need. We will work with you every step of the way to make sure that you understand the choices you are making and feel empowered to make them. Barry & Turnage. Serious injuries require serious attorneys.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
And welcome back to Tiger basketball action here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law. With just a little over a minute left to go in halftime as the teams are warming up right now, but Ouachita going to look to come back from a 4-point deficit. And honestly, the way that this score is looking to turn out, it's almost looking like that East Central score against Arkansas Monticello, where it ended up, 49-45? Pretty low scoring. So I imagine it's going to be about the same amount of points, but we'll see if Ouachita can get their offense back going. Take a few look at the stats, and Chase, want to look over some of the stats. What has stuck out to you right now?
Well, right now, the thing that's been amazing about this game is just how similar these two teams have been. You look at the field goals made, 8 apiece. For Ouachita, took a little bit longer to get going with the 3, but both teams have 2 made 3-pointers up to this point. The rebounding is fairly consistent. Really, the main difference between these two teams has been the transition points. It felt like the Tigers were able to take advantage of those points in transition. ECU with a slight advantage too inside, so we'll see if that proves to be the case as well here in the second half. But looking at that second quarter of play, what really improved for Ouachita was spacing the floor. It took the pressure off of the transition play. You didn't feel like you were in as much of a hurry. When you're in less of a hurry, you're less likely to create those turnovers. Ouachita was able to limit the turnovers going down the stretch in the second half. They were able to get better shots, and as a result, more shots started to fall for the hometown Tigers, they'll be looking for more of the same here in the final 20 minutes.
Yep, shot 40% from three in that second quarter. And, you know, we talked about how physical this game has been, but I just now realized that there have only been 7 free throws attempted between the two teams. So it's been physical, but it's, you know, not a lot of free throws being shot in this game, as Tipton a nice turnaround jumper. Problem with the shot clock.
Looked like it started out a little bit early.
Yep, gonna add 3 seconds to it, but that last shot was Tipton's first make of the game.
And the Tigers have really enjoyed having Tipton back in the lineup these last few weeks. She was out for a little bit with an injury, but since her return, she has made her presence felt in many ways. That mid-range game has really been her bread and butter since she arrived at Ouachita. Case in point just a few moments ago.
And with Heidi Robinson out with an injury as well, her role has just been increased as Tipton came away with the steal, and it's going to be a foul on, that's going to be on Ogle.
Ogle, although she doesn't have a ton of points to her credit, only 2 up to this point, she has contributed in a lot of different ways. We mentioned the 2 blocks earlier in the contest, but she also leads the game in assists with 3. She's tied with Joey Babel in that regard. You don't usually see a forward being the playmaker, but she's done a really good job of drawing the defense's attention onto her and then kicking it out to an open teammate either in the flats or sometimes even in 3-point range.
Here's Tipton. Backing down Cummings. Watson over to Babel. Jumper is good. Joey Babel, that's her second mid-range shot that she's hit in this game. She's definitely got sort of an old school type of play. Not necessarily a major threat from beyond the arc, but mid-range certainly is, as Herman gets the shot is good. Another mid-range shot. Herman's just second make in as many attempts in this game, and Fairless throws it nowhere, but it will stay with Ouachita. Ouachita has trimmed this lead to just 2 with some methodical and efficient baskets, as there's going to be another foul, this time by Herman. Here's Tipton up top for 3, no good, off the front of the rim. And the fans wanting a walk there by Alt. And it's going to stay with East Central. But Ouachita, their defense has been stifling so far. Part of the reason why they have trimmed this to just a 2-point lead for East Central. Crusoe, free throw shot is good. And Crusoe now has 9. Still nobody in double digits so far this game. Crusoe's the closest with 9, as Tipton's shot is no good. Looks like there's going to be a loose ball foul by Cummings, it looks like. Actually, no, my mistake. That's going to be on Natalie Payne there. Yeah, you can tell kind of holding Fairless's arm down a bit. And Payne does come away with this. And yes, she does come away with the steal. Now it's East Central basketball. Good defensive play by the 5'11" forward out of Lenexa, Kansas. Here's Crusoe on the wing. Cummings. Here's Payne at the elbow, working on Fairless. Out to Herman for three, no good by Herman. Now Ouachita has a fast break opportunity. Babel pulls it out, tipped in, and it's going to be an and one by Madeline Tipton. What a play by the sophomore.
It was a great moment of hesitation there. Babel sees the advantage that Tipton has, passes it to her, and then excellent court vision from Tipton, finding the lane over to the left side. Nobody's home, able to draw the contact. That was Kennedy Cummings charged with the foul. Just an excellent play there between two teammates. And Chris, that's something that we've really seen step up throughout the season, is that this team is relatively young, but some of these girls now have been playing together for a couple of years, and you're starting to really see that team chemistry build over time, especially with the more minutes that they get on the floor. Some of these young players who didn't get as many minutes in the past, they're starting to see those numbers go up, and with that, we're seeing more opportunities for them to grow their game together.
Well, one of those players has been Joey Babel, who's just got that outlet pass, and Mears, flying out of bounds, just had to throw it back in, and will be a Ouachita turnover. Here's Crusoe. And Mears picks up the ball. Here's Mears going on the fast break out to Babel. Pump fake. Fairless turning in the corner on Payne with the basket inside. And Ouachita has taken the lead here. And Mears with the steal. Too easy for Lainey Mears. And Coach Hurt needs a chance to talk with her squad. What a turnaround for Ouachita now. The OBU Tigers now have the 3-point lead over ECU on that last play by Lainey Mears. We'll stick around for the remaining 6:02 left in this third quarter of action here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Make Print Mania in downtown Arkadelphia your place to get embroidery, screen printing, trophies, and more. Drop by their store on Main Street in downtown Arkadelphia or visit their website at printmaniatees.com to see how they can help your business or group. Need a shirt for an event? Let Print Mania take care of that. Need promotional materials for your business or organization? You can let Print Mania take care of that too. A family-run local business in Arkadelphia, Print Mania has been serving the public since 1992. Call Print Mania today, 870-246-3803.
Visit the Ouachita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Ouachita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Ouachita campus store. Go Tigers.
Owned by OBU alumni, Java Primo is the official coffeehouse of Ouachita Tiger football.
30-27 is your score with 6:02 left to play in this third quarter, and Ouachita regained the lead in this third quarter for the first time since the score was 3-2 in the first quarter. What a remarkable turnaround. East Central definitely had their hands all over this game, but Ouachita, their tempo has gone up and they've taken care of the ball a lot better. It's allowed them to get ahead in this lead.
Really a turning point in this one has been the excellent defense of Lainey Mears. Excellent hustle on both sides of the ball, really. Those two steals allowing the Tigers to take the lead. We've come to expect that from her because she does have about 3 steals a game this year. Had been kind of quiet on the defensive side, not the case anymore.
Here's Babel to the cutting Watson. Watson inside off the glass is good for Samantha Watson. Just her second basket of the game, not typically known as a scorer for this Ouachita team. Just averaging 4 points a game, so right now about at her average. Here's Payne on the elbow. driving against Payne, and it's going to be a late whistle and foul. There was some contact underneath by Harrison.
I think the block was clean there, Chris. It was actually in transition. Harrison was going back down from her arms up position and accidentally clipped the shoulder. It looked like that was Natalie Payne taking the shot, and now she'll have a chance for 2 at the charity stripe.
Ouachita's just their first foul of the period. Payne shooting 66% from the free throw line this season and misses the first one. So far in just this quarter, Ouachita has outscored East Central 13-4. Ouachita has not scored more than 13 points in a quarter tonight. Previously, 12 points in the second quarter was the most that we had seen. And Brooke Smith on that drive, she's going to head to the free throw line. As it was Tatum Havens going to pick up the foul there. Take another look at it. As we will have our first media timeout, but we are going to stick around here. Well, Chase, if you do recall, and I'm sure you do, the score was 23-19 at the half. Now Ouachita, in just about 6 minutes, or no, just about 5 minutes of play, have propelled the score to 32-28. How did they get to this point?
There are a lot of factors that are working together, Chris, and I believe it's the Tigers' ability to slow things down on the offensive side of the ball while also bringing up the tempo on the defensive side. Lainey Mears was able to catch a few people off guard, get a couple of quick steals, and I really think that's energized this Tiger defense. You see it in the excellent job that they're doing in man-to-man right now. You see all the different defenders working together really in unison to limit those opportunities. ECU is a team that loves to shoot the 3 ball, and the way that they do that is driving in the lanes. Instead now, Ouachita is cutting off those lanes, and you're just having to do those passes, but all of a sudden, that spacing that was there in the first half, it's not there anymore for ECU. It's been improved spacing on both sides of the ball. The transition, defense, and offense for Ouachita has been astounding here in the second half. Look for more of the same going down the stretch, and I think we could be looking at a Tiger victory here tonight.
Well, that would certainly be the recipe for success and maintaining this lead for Ouachita, as all 13 of their points in this third quarter have not been from beyond the arc. They've had a couple mid-range shots, but mostly everything's been in the paint, and only one point from the free throw line. So points in the paint coming easily for Ouachita so far, as Brooke Smith is at the free throw line. And she's short on the first one. Smith just shooting about 70% from the free throw line this season. And she goes 1 of 2. Ouachita continuing with the full court press. And here's Ariel West who just checked in for the first time tonight, and she's going to pick up a foul from Grayson Williams, and that's going to be her 5th. Yep, that's going to be Williams' 5th foul of the contest. And Grayson Williams, in just 5 minutes, her night is over, picking up as many fouls as in as many minutes. So definitely a big loss for Ouachita. Here's West driving right, and she's going to pick up the foul. Smith cut her off. It's going to be Ouachita's 13th foul of the period. And there's a problem with the shot clock. Got to reset it to 20 seconds. And we can resume action. They get it into Havens. And I think there's another problem with the shot clock. Just looked like only 2 seconds went off. Well, maybe they now have the shot clock where they want it now. 15 on the clock. And we have another stoppage, and that's actually going to be an offensive foul by East Central. That's going to be on Havens. I didn't see exactly what happened, but could just tell by the frustration it's been building on the East Central faces. And again, some problems with the shot clock. Has to reset the 30. Here's Mears up top. Smith thought about it. Mid-range shot is good from Brooks Smith. That is her first basket of this game.
Pretty good idea there to go with the hesitation pump fake. That little bit of separation allowed for the open jump shot. It wasn't bad defense that time from Ariel West. It was just enough separation for Smith to make a good play.
Here's Crusoe to West. Guarded by Smith, screened by Payne, out to Weiberg. Weiberg for three, no good, gets her own miss. And here's West inside with the left, no good, and Fairless with the board. Here goes Mears, loses it, but Watson picks it up. Watson spinning inside, and she's going to draw the foul. It was a good spin by Watson. As Joey Babel's going to check in, and so is Chloe Malone for East Central. Haven's going to check out, and so is Tipton for Ouachita. Watson shooting 72% from the free throw line. And knocks in the second. Ouachita has had persistent pressure. Full court. Here's Payne. And an uncontested, well, I say uncontested layup by Crusoe, and Mears has to foul there. Must have been some miscommunication on who was going to pick up Crusoe. No help defense. But believe it or not, that was a good foul by Mears. Prevents the 2 points.
She was trying to prevent the easy two, and now Crusoe going to have to earn them at the charity stripe.
And Crusoe is perfect from the line. Ouachita still has a 7-point lead. Pump fake by Smith. Up and under is no good. And here's West. Malone out to Weiberg. Weiberg for three, and it's going to be an offensive foul by Malone. I'm kind of surprised that she was out of the restricted area, but as Coach Heather Hurd is having a conversation with one of the officials right now about that call. And play resumes. Here's Watson. Mears directing traffic. Here's Fairless. Back to Mears. Fairless taking it herself inside. Blocked away. Mears wanted to foul, but Watson, trying to get Mears inside. Body's on the ground, and East Central's running out with it. Babel with the steal. Here's Fairless with it. Mears thought about the three, and it's going to stay with Ouachita. Good job by Crusoe poking that one out. A little bit of chaos those last couple of possessions for both teams.
It looks like Ouachita is adjusting accordingly, looking to go to a slower tempo. allowing for the spacing to develop and looking for a good shot wherever that may come from.
Fairless inside to Watson. Watson to Smith. Smith attacking baseline out to Mears. And I don't think anybody knew what the shot clock was going down to, but yep, that's going to be a shot clock violation by Ouachita. Had a couple of those in this game. Here's West. Malone on the wing. And Watson's going to pick up the personal. That's going to be her first foul of the game.
Number 10, Samantha Watson. That's her first personal foul. Ouachita's 15th foul of the period. Shooting for East Central, number 20, Mackenzie Crusoe.
Well, Mackenzie Crusoe is going to be at the line for 2. She's perfect so far today, and she is the lone player in double digits with 11. Make it 12. And Crusoe gets that one to roll in.
With that last make, Crusoe now 48 for 56 at the charity stripe this season. One of the better shooters in the conference that we've seen when it comes to the charity stripe, and her team needing those points here in a close contest.
And now Abby Harrison's going to have a chance to go to the free throw line. Can see Payne pushing with that forearm on Harrison's back, and now Harrison's going to go to the free throw line. Just 2 games this season shooting 20%, but that one looked pretty good there. She's got a very high arc on that free throw shot.
Well, it's also worth mentioning, too, that Harrison has had a limited sample to work from, just returning from an injury, but even in these first few contests back, she's already made her presence felt, especially down low. She's one of the best post players for Ouachita a year ago, and right now picking up right where she left off despite missing a good portion of the season due to that injury.
Well, she's the tallest player on the floor at any given time for Ouachita, and the tallest player between the two teams at 6'2". Here's Payne to West. West got Russell up in the air. West, fall away jumper is good. And here's Babel. Babel to Tipton. Tipton for 3, no good. Babel diving for that offensive board, can't get it, and now it's East Central basketball as Samantha Watson's going to check in for Russell. Let's see the good effort. Tipton on the miss, and then Babel diving for it there. Can't get it, unfortunately. Here's Weiberg. Babel trying to get the steal there on West. And it's going to be a backcourt violation. Coach Hurd almost halfway onto the court. Not happy with that call. 2 of the officials going to have a conversation about it, and they do reverse the call. Now I think it is the right call. They might want to take a look at it during the next break, and actually they're going to look at it right this moment.
They're going to take a look at the shot clock to see exactly where it should be. Everything had been reset.
Take a look. Babel with the tip, poked it out, and that does make it a live basketball at that point. Going to take another look at it. Again, Babel with the, of course, they're not looking at if it's a backcourt violation or not. They are checking out the clock to see exactly what it's supposed to be at.
Hey, good job, guys. Thank you.
And great work by our production crew getting good angles, make the officials' jobs a lot easier as Crusoe's throwing in. Here's Malone on the wing. Crusoe against Watson, and that's a tough basket by Crusoe. She has cut this Ouachita lead to 3. Here's Tipton. Babel up top. Tipton for 3, no good, a little hard on that one. Babel can't get the offensive rebound. Here's West. Just 7 seconds left on the game clock. Malone out to Weiberg. Weiberg's gonna have to get it up, and no good, and that is gonna do it for the first 3 quarters of play. Well, Ouachita leading 39-36 as we head into this 4th quarter of action. So stick around for 4th quarter basketball action here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of Bats and Signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, Bats and Signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, Bats and Signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia, on the campuses of Ouachita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, Bats and Sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia called Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Bats and Signs today to see what they can do for you.
39-36 is your quarter as we open up this 4th quarter of action. East Central worked hard to get back into this one as Ogle has it here. Here's Crusoe.
Tigers taking their time, knowing that one shot could completely change the complexion of this game.
And Cummings inside draws a contact and an and 1. And Cummings has a chance for the old-fashioned 3-point play. Cummings, a 78% free throw shooter, almost 79% free throw shooter. It's 2 of 2 so far today, is now 3 of 3. She now has 9 as Audrey Winfrey checks in for Laney Mears.
As Samantha Watson brings up the ball up the floor for Ouachita, Chris, I did want to mention something that the Tigers have done tonight that has led to their success at times has been adjusting their game plan. This is a team that likes to shoot the 3 ball. The threes just haven't been falling tonight, but instead of forcing the issue, the Tigers have found a way to adjust their game plan, and they're still right in this one with ECU.
A nice feed inside from Babel to Fairless, and now Fairless is going to head to the free throw line for 2. Fairless is Ouachita's 3rd leading scorer, just under 10 points per game. She's also shooting 70% from the free throw line. You can see she got a lot of contact, especially on that elbow, as she knocks down the first. Well, I mentioned earlier how we hadn't seen a lot of free throws, and in the second half, we've seen a lot of free throws. So I didn't exactly wish for that, but I guess maybe I did, and I got my wish. Here's Cummings to West. West getting a lot of playing time in the second half. Inside to Cummings, working on Tipton, and Tipton's going to pick up the foul there. That's going to be her second. You can see, yep, good call by the official. Got both arms there as Cummings knocks down that first free throw. Well, East Central has definitely gotten back into this game, and it's seemingly been at the free throw line as they now have tied it up at 41.
Well, and credit to the ECU Tigers. It hasn't been a perfect game here tonight, but they've found a way to stay in the ballgame, and really they've been competitive throughout the contest. The Tigers' lead has never swelled beyond single digits, and just when it seems like the Tigers from Ada are out of the game, they find a way to stretch together some points, whether that's at the charity stripe or whether that's some good offensive plays. It's even been the defense at times stepping up, creating opportunities in transition.
West tips that one out, and just 3 seconds on the shot clock as Lainey Mears is going to come in. Winfrey's going to check out, of course. Well, I would say they'd have Mears as the three-point threat, but and Watson, a little confusion there, thought she was subbing out for a second. A lot of confusion here with some of the players for Ouachita. Got to get a quick shot off. Get it to Mears. Mears for three, no good. And Smith gets it right back, and that's going to be a traveling violation. And Smith, I think, thought that it was a shot clock violation as she heard the horn, but that is going to be a traveling violation, so a mistake there by the freshman.
And on the inbound, the Tigers that time were looking for the catch and shoot. Lainey Mears, usually the one to inbound the ball, because there's a foul here on the floor, but that time you want to have your best shooter in that situation. Mears has been the sharpshooter for the Tigers throughout her time here. So she inbounds it, gets it quickly back, and wasn't a bad look, but when you've got time dwindling like that and you're trying to dial it up from distance, that's a tough shot to make.
Well, Coach Hurd of East Central not happy with that last call. Crusoe hit the deck, but they got Crusoe, I think, with the, no, they got Fairless with the personal. A lot of miscommunication in this game, a lot of confusion. And here's West to Crusoe. Crusoe knocks down Watson, and that will be an offensive foul, much to the chagrin of all the few East Central fans that have made the trip down to Arkadelphia.
And it was tough to tell from that angle. Crusoe extended her elbow. That's where the call came from. The officials have been very diligent about that tonight. They do not want to see that push off from the elbow. It's fine if you keep it stationary, but anytime that elbow has gone out tonight, it's been a foul.
And Fairless loses it. East Central has a chance to run. Cummings does pull it out. Here's Crusoe working on Winfrey and gets it blocked, but gets it back. Gives it up to Ogle. And East Central another turnover. Babel, she loses it for a second, gets it back in, and Watson with the basket. What a possession for Ouachita. Just can't seem to really hold on to the basketball, but it does still result in 2 points, and now a 2-point advantage. Inside, no good by Cummings. Rushed the shot a little bit. Here's Babel. Mears for three is good! Lainey Mears with the triple, and East Central calls a timeout. We are going to stay right here, though, as Ouachita, with that Lainey Mears triple, now is ahead by 5.
You could really feel the momentum swing with that last make from Lainey Mears. The entire crowd erupted, and that's why Coach Heather Hurt wanted to take this time out to try and slow that momentum from rolling too far. Ouachita in a great spot right now, but the first-year coach for ECU, she's done a great job here tonight. You know that she's going to make some adjustments here going down the stretch. ECU has found a way to hang around throughout the night. I expect nothing less here down the stretch. Chris, it's been an unusual game to say the least, but what a game it's been. You can't ask for much more entertaining basketball than this.
No, this has been very entertaining. A low-scoring affair, as that is, with that three, Lainey Mears is now in double digits. Only the the third double-digit score of the day, just the first with Ouachita, as Crusoe and Cummings both in double digits. But we're not seeing a lot of offense, but the offense we're seeing in the second half has been efficient, without a doubt, from Ouachita, just scoring 19 points in that first half, and then
already scored 27 here in the second half.
Exactly. Thank you for the quick math. But, yeah, great offensive output by Ouachita, but a lot of it has come from the defense as well. They've really had a very solid defensive half, but they did give up the lead a little bit to East Central. They didn't lose the lead. It did end up being tied up at 41, but it was thanks to East Central shooting very well from the free throw line. So the free throw line and shooting for both teams at the line, that's going to be essential in this game.
Well, this has really been a game that's been tight both ways. Neither team has really been able to pull away with the momentum at any given time. It's just been a seesaw effect between these two teams. It seems like one team's starting to pull away with the game, then all of a sudden that momentum starts to take it back the other way. And give credit to both sides, neither one wanting to give an inch in this physical battle. When you're in a game like this, Chris, it can be easy to get exhausted very quickly, but both of these two teams, even though you can tell that they're tired from the physical battle that this game has been, both teams fueled by adrenaline because they want that victory here tonight. They've worked so hard for it. Only one can walk away victorious.
Well, you can tell, as you mentioned, both these teams have been trying to play fast, but the lead has sort of seesawed a little bit. The momentum certainly has, and a lot of that has to do with the constant stoppage of play. A lot of fouls being called. It's been equal both ways. Both teams have been getting fouls called both of their ways, so it's definitely not one-sided, as Crusoe is perfect from the free throw line that time.
And while we've got a break in the action, I do have to give a shout out. The Ouachita volleyball team has been here tonight, and they have been loud for the Tiger basketball team. Every free throw you're seeing them making some noise. Every big shot, they are on their feet. That's the thing about the Ouachita community. It stretches beyond the two teams, and you see that at a lot of the different events. You see the different teams coming out to support each other because at the end of the day, all these athletes really are friends working towards a common goal of putting a quality product either on the hardwood, on the court, or on the field.
And Babel knocks down that long two there. And you don't want to forget about Ouachita football, just over to our right as well. Always here supporting both basketball squads. Here's Ogle to Cummings. Cummings inside, out to West for three is good. Ariel West with the triple. And now trims this lead by Ouachita to just two. And what a shot for West, just her second make of the game. Has only played in this first half for East Central. And East Central gets it back. Here's Crusoe to Alt on the corner. Ogle, free throw line shot, no good. Cummings with the steal, West, no good on the lefty layup, and Cummings, physical play, and that will be a jump ball. Possession arrow does point towards Ouachita. Few substitutions for East Central as Payne checks in for Ogle, and Alt is going to check out. Weiberg checks back in. Here's Winfrey to Mears, inside to Fairless. Looking for a teammate, now goes to work. Fairless, and that's an offensive foul by Grayson Fairless. But like you said, every time that forearm is extended, they will call that an offensive foul.
And you can tell both teams have been visibly frustrated by that charging foul tonight, but it's been pretty consistent on both sides.
And another issue with the shot clock. Hadn't had a problem with it for a little bit. But I think they have to, maybe it's right, I can't ever tell. But here's Payne with it. Here's Cummings, guarded by Tipton. Looking inside to Crusoe, gets it to her. Out to West, West for three, no good, long on that three-pointer. And here's Babel. Babel with the spin, mid-range shot is good! Joey Babel with the bucket inside, and now she's got 9.
Quickly, the attention going right back to the other side of the floor is ECU looking to get those points those 2 points back quickly.
And Watson, good job recovering on the off-ball movement by East Central, poking that ball away. Here's Weiberg to West. Crusoe out to Weiberg. Weiberg taking it inside, floater, short. Harrison with the board. Here's Watson, going baseline, up and under, is good! Joey Babel with the offhand on the reverse finish.
That shot was a lot tougher than she made it look. Excellent play down under the basket, and you could tell from the reaction. The Tiger bench and the Tiger faithful all in the stands knew that that shot had major implications in terms of momentum.
And there's going to be an off-ball foul by Weiberg for East Central as Kaylee Alt is checking back in. Ouachita not in the bonus, so Mears taking it out. Into Tipton right away. Shot no good by Madeline Tipton. And Cummings has it. And throws it to Crusoe. It was almost a disaster for East Central as West has it, gives it to Crusoe, looking inside to Payne. Payne working on Harrison. Tipton gets a hand on it, but East Central does get it back, and they're going to say that is a backcourt violation by Ariel West. Her foot just extended a little long trying to recover that ball. And actually, it was Coach Dallimore that was the first one to notice it. Coach Hurt trying to plead her case, trying to say that that one was tipped. Here's Watson inside. And that basket, I think, will count.
They are going to indicate that it is an on-the-floor foul. It occurred right before she went up for the shot.
Yeah, I was wondering, based off Ouachita's bench's reaction, it looked like it had gone in, and that ball recovered by Watson. And Watson hits the deck, and it's going to remain with Ouachita. And not sure what this conversation is about.
There was
right
a
now.
technical foul called on the floor. Based on the reaction, it looked like it was charged to Ariel West. Just kind of throwing her hands up in exasperation.
Technical foul on East Central number 15, Ariel West.
And now Lainey Mears is at the free throw line, shooting just under 92% on the season. And knocks down the first. And Mears is perfect from the free throw line.
Tatum Havens checking in for ECU, and she's actually been one of the more efficient passers for this team. Entering this contest, she had an assist-to-turnover ratio of just under 3. I believe that's best on the team, in fact.
Hasn't made a huge mark when it comes to playmaking this game. Has 3 turnovers and just 3 rebounds, no assists. Ouachita has definitely held her in check. Watson got her to the floor, got the fans up on their feet.
They always say that magic number that you're looking for in the final quarter of play is 10. And the Tigers are going to have an opportunity right here to get to that number. Joey Babel putting her body on the line yet again and finds herself in the perfect position to draw that elbow.
Well, Ouachita has been putting on a clinic when it comes to drawing offensive fouls. Of course, East Central's done the same. Here's Watson on the baseline. Babel directing traffic. And it's going to be an off-ball foul. And that's going to be on Crusoe.
Foul on the second, number 20, Mackenzie Crusoe. That's her third personal foul.
That will be her third personal. The officials will want to look over this one, though. With 2:14 left. Let's take a look at this one. Not sure exactly what they're looking for.
I think they want to take another look at that call, maybe confirm the call. As it stands, Mackenzie Crusoe will be charged with a foul for running through a screen.
Well, while we have a chance to take a second, I want to point out how Joey Babel, the type of play that she has been putting on. Now, I don't want to say that she's in triple-double watch. She's really close. I mean, she's at 9 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists right now. I think if you added maybe 8 more minutes to the clock, maybe she could get that mark. But she's done such an incredible job distributing, sort of being that backup playmaker, allowing Mears to play off the ball a little bit. She's really made her mark. All 4 of her baskets have been from mid-range, and then, of course, the 6 rebounds. She's been 3 rebounds on the offensive glass and 3 on the defensive glass. Has made her mark in every area of the game. Oh, and did I mention that she had 3 steals as well? So she's definitely had a big mark on this game. One of the reasons why Ouachita is in the lead right now.
And we do have an indication that this is a common foul. Charge to Mackenzie Crusoe.
And guess Watson's going to head to the free throw line. She's perfect so far tonight. In fact, Ouachita has only missed 2 free throws as a team. That's something that they have gotten a lot better at as a team this season. It's their work from the charity stripe as she knocks in that first one. Well, Watson, she has 11 right now, just only the second player for Ouachita in double digits. Went perfect from the line that time and has now propelled this lead to 10. East Central not out of it just yet. We know they can get some buckets in a hurry. Here's Alt to Payne. Crusoe working inside, a lot of contact, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Mackenzie Crusoe.
It's Joey Babel taking the charge yet again, and Crusoe, she's somebody that likes to attack the basket aggressively, and sometimes that can work against you, especially in a game like this where the officials are very aware of that charging call and especially those elbows.
Well, nice hang finish by Tipton, but yes, a lot of these calls have really made the East Central faithful extremely frustrated. As Payne going up, no good on that shot, but she will head to the free throw line.
Foul on the Tigers, number 32, Abby
Harrison, it was good initial defense, but she did kind of bring her arms down, and whenever that happens, of course, the officials will call a foul. Payne, first free throw is good. And Payne is perfect from the free throw line. It's tied up the score yet again. Mears to Tipton, throws it away. Just a bad pass by Lainey Mears, and sort of a rare second half turnover for Ouachita. Payne open for three, no good, hard. Cummings with the offensive board, inside, no good on the layup. Crusoe, power dribble, no good, gets her own miss, and now she's gonna head to the free throw line, and that's gonna just drive Coach Dallimore crazy. It's gonna be 4 chances for East Central in 1 possession.
And that's one thing you've got to credit the Tigers out of Ada, Oklahoma for. ECU has been fighting for those offensive boards. Even if it hasn't always worked out, there has been that effort on the offensive glass. Excellent job there of Mackenzie Crusoe. Even though it didn't work out the first few attempts the way that she had hoped, she stands right there, gets her own rebound, and provides the opportunity at the charity stripe, only going 1 for 2 this time.
Here's Watson. Watson up top, guarded by Crusoe.
With a 9-point advantage, you have to wonder if ECU will elect to foul at some point.
Tipton, fall away jumper, no good. Ouachita does get it back for a second, but East Central now has it. Here's Cummings, layup is no good. And Payne with the second chance opportunity is good, and now East Central is down by just 7 with just under 30 seconds left to play. Well, we're going to take a very quick break here, so stick around for the final 29.6 seconds left of this 4th quarter of action here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Whether you realize it,
visit the Ouachita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Ouachita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Ouachita campus store. Go Tigers.
We specialize in bringing the law to your corner. We are dedicated to understanding what results you want and to helping you understand what actions we can take on your behalf. With over 30 years of experience and a proven track record of success, Barry & Turnage is here to lead you down a path to the results you need. We will work with you every step of the way to make sure that you understand the choices you are making and feel empowered to make them. Barry & Turnage. Serious injuries require serious attorneys.
58-51 is your score with 29.6 left to play in this Tiger versus Tiger matchup here on this cold Thursday night. And if you're out and about, just be careful, because if you're out and about still in central Arkansas, just be careful. Those roads and even the sidewalks are still icy. It's kind of hard getting to class. You know, there's still a lot of ice on sidewalks here on campus.
Hopefully we'll see that clear up throughout the weekend with all the freezing temperatures that have been here. It's been tough traversing the class. Hopefully it'll be easier when Southeastern makes the trip here on Saturday. But again, what an unusual weather week it has been here in Arkadelphia and really across the state of Arkansas.
Yeah, I sent out a a tweet pretty recently and said that it feels a lot like Christmas here in Arkansas. And, we're into the new year of 2024, and just back home in North Little Rock, Arkansas, there's a lot of snow on the ground still, a lot more than there is here at East Central. Now, we're going to stay right here as East Central is going to take a timeout. But Ouachita now has a 9-point lead with 28.4 left to play. Well, while we have stoppage in play, let's look at some of the individual stats for Ouachita. Ouachita has 2 players in double digits so far. Lainey Mears, adding to her total with those free throws, now has 15. And she is the second leading scorer from both squads. Crusoe for East Central has 18, the leading scorer overall. And then Samantha Watson has also found herself in the double-digit column with 12. We'll take a look. There's Heather Hurt talking over with her team. She's been very active talking to the officials in this game. It's just her first full season as a head coach at East Central. Was the interim head coach last year after Matt Cole stepped down from his position as the head women's basketball coach to take over as director of athletics for East Central. Came over. Been with East Central as an assistant coach for 9 years. And there is Robert Dallimore. Can't really see him, but now he's in his 5th season as at the helm for Ouachita basketball. Both have done solid jobs at the helm for both schools. And this has definitely been a game that I think all coaches love. It's sort of a low-scoring affair, as I've said a plethora of times already. But they love these grinded-out games where it's decided by just a few possessions and by a game of runs. Cummings just gets it in. I think was really close to that 5-second call. Here's Alt driving inside. Layup is good. And 23 seconds left to play. We're going to stay here again as Coach Dallimore is going to take a second to talk over with this squad. But Chase, talk about what we've seen in this 4th quarter of action and really just the second half overall for Ouachita.
So for Ouachita, really the turnaround in this one it's been a tale of 2 halves. It really has, Chris. We've seen improvements in every facet of the game for Ouachita. The spacing got a lot better. That allowed for better shots. The defense stepped up its intensity. And ECU, I believe, it stepped up its intensity as well on offense. That's why we've seen some more points. However, Ouachita has been able to step up in those key possessions, and that has allowed them to take the lead and retain it here in the final period of play. This is an ECU team that plays with a style that's really not – I don't think the record is indicative of how talented this team really is, because they play with a style that allows them to hang around in just about any game. They've lost some close ones. And Chris, I wouldn't be surprised if this team that has been led successfully up to this point by Heather Hurt would pile up some wins before the year's out.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Of course, they have had a few rough losses in their last 5. But I think with this game, it's going to give their team a little bit of confidence. This has definitely been one of the closer games they've played up to this point in conference play. Again, they're just 1-7 in GAC play so far. Definitely not where they want to be, but like we mentioned, this conference, it's anybody's match. It's a lot of teams that are in a 3 or 4 or even 5-way tie for different spots. And of course, we're not even just halfway through conference season yet, as that's a nice floater by Weiberg. Now we will take a break here as Coach Dallimore is going to take a second to advance the ball. Well, let's stick around for the remaining 11.6 left to play in this 4th quarter here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Visit the Ouachita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Ouachita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Ouachita campus store. Go Tigers.
Just 11.6 left to play in this fourth quarter of action. Ouachita with the 62-55 lead over the visiting East Central Tiger squad. Here's Mears, hounded. Cummings trying to foul, and finally they do get the call there. Just 7.2 left, and I think everybody in this arena, the Ouachita faithful, kind of know the result of this one. Lainey Mears has yet to miss tonight from the charity stripe, as now she is 7 of 7. Looking to make it 8 of 8, as Ouachita's defense is going to run back and get set, prevent any other shots and late game craziness from occurring. Here's Cummings, 3, no good. Harrison with the board, and that will do it. Ouachita takes the 64-55 victory over the East Central Tigers. What a win for Ouachita, and a much needed win for Coach Dallamore's squad.
And you can sense that exhale from the entire crowd here tonight. This was a tense matchup between two teams that are on the come up in the GAC. For ECU, as I mentioned, Chris, I think that this is a team that has brighter days ahead. If they continue to play with the intensity that they played with here tonight, bring that great defense, and then clean up some things on the offensive side of the ball, get a few better looks, limit the turnovers, I think this is a team that does have postseason potential. And for Ouachita, on the flip side of that, this is a team that continues to improve, that defends its home court well. That's a key. And tonight, even though things weren't going their way, they wanted that 3-ball. It wasn't there. They found a way to adapt. They overcame injuries. They overcame the shots not falling, and they found a way to win this ball game. That's really a testament to this program.
Well, Mackenzie Crusoe, everybody knew coming into this game would be the high point player for East Central. She did end up leading all scorers with 18. Actually, I say that, Lainey Mears is now the leading scorer of both teams with 19. But Crusoe still had a rough night shooting, was 5 of 12 from the field, 1 of 4 from beyond the three-point line, and also fouled out and had 5 turnovers. So definitely a rough night for Crusoe. A good job by the Ouachita defense to also force 24 turnovers. Now East Central, like we said, has a great defense. They forced 21 turnovers of their own, as we now are set to see the East Central and Ouachita men's basketball squads warm up here, as we're going to have a conversation with Coach Dallamore in just a few minutes to talk about his final thoughts of this game, as I can see him coming over just now. But again, 64-55, your final here at Bill Vining Arena. We have just under 25 minutes left to go before we have Ouachita men's basketball. Well, I have Coach Dallamore joining me now. Coach, thank you for joining me, and congratulations on the win. I know this was a must-win game, and definitely a game that you guys needed to regain some confidence and some momentum heading into the middle of conference season.
So it's a marathon, and you know, we've been having a lot of injuries. Just got Abby back. Heidi's out. And Heidi's been playing through a lot of stuff, and that's just basketball. Every team in our league goes through it, right? And so we played 2 teams ranked in the top 12 in the country, lost those, and then we lost one other against a team that was in 3rd, I believe, before tonight. That was our 3 losses. And they're a good team. In our league, every game, this is what it's like. It's like that. They got people, you know, lose by 21 night, and then they'll beat one of the best teams in the league the next night. We are struggling with a little crisis of confidence on how to shoot the ball right now, even though last year we were 1st in the league in both three-point shooting and field goal percentage, and right now we're not making shots. that's a credit to them defensively. I think Heather does a great job, and their kids compete, play really hard, and that was a battle. But that's, I've been telling you this for years. It's every night in our conference. There is no easy games, and we're not easy for them. They're not easy for us. It's not a game that's like that. And as a result, when your shot's not falling, you go 3 for 16 from the three-point line, then you're going to have a hard time winning. And we're fortunate we won tonight. Our defense, I thought, was really good. 20-1 started going bananas on us. We did a really good job, and then when we got tired, and I did a poor job of subbing and keeping my kids fresh. And those two kids are elite players, and then they got other kids who are really good shooters. I thought what we did a good job of is we did a good job of limiting their three-point shots. And this year they've been shooting the ball well. They've got a number of kids who are shooting high 30s, low 40s, and we didn't let them go off. Although 20 did, and one got us going late. I thought the last 4 minutes we played really good defense. And that gave us an opportunity to win, and then we stepped up and we went 19-21 from the line. That's where the game was won. We started taking charges at the end, and we made 20 have to work so hard that it gave us an opportunity to get them into bonus. And then, when they fouled us, then it's free throws. So if you're not making shots, the best way to do it is to get into bonus and get some free shots and get a little confidence.
Well, I know you mentioned a shooting crisis. Well, there was not a shooting crisis from the charity stripe, only with 2 misses. And, of course,
right.
You can win games at the free throw line, and I think that's exactly what happened tonight.
Right. And that's what you got to do. You got to figure – this is what I was telling the girls. People fail to realize, they went to the semifinals last year, and they only lost Michaela. Well, that's true, but it's a new season. And so right now we're not shooting at that level. So people forget that this is a team comprised mostly of sophomores. That's the bulk of our team, and I've got 2 freshmen who are playing quite a bit. So what's happening is we're trying to find our groove. And so, we have these, we have these moments where we look, good, and then where we don't. But I'm going to tell you, I want to give God all the glory, honor, and praise, because the last few days, he's really just encouraged me and lifted me up in prayer about, hey, you've got good kids. Because I have great kids. I know you go to school with them, and I've got really good kids. And they're working hard, and they're doing the right things. And the ball just will not go in the hoop. Even those early, that run we made at the beginning of the conference when we won 4 in a row, we only had 1 game where we shot the ball well. And it's just been a struggle. And look, we're shooting just as much, and Michaela wasn't a big shooter for us last year, And so the same kids, take away Heidi. I mean, I know Heidi's out, but we've got plenty of other kids who can shoot it. And just right now the ball ain't going in. So I'm really proud of them for tonight, because, you lose 3 in a row and you can't make a shot. You could have gone in the tank, and it didn't look good at 21-11. And I just told them, y'all are battling, guys. Y'all are battling, and if they battle, we're going to be all right. And that's what I told them. This is a long season. 22 conference schedule out of your 26 games. It is a gruel, and you just got to ride the wave out. You want to kind of try to stay like this instead of this in the last, week or two. And so we're going to have another battle on Saturday, Southeastern. Darren is an amazing coach. They run some great stuff. They've got really good three-point shooters, just like East Central. And then Kabisky she'll be first team all-conference for sure.
Well, before I let you go, one last question. Only 19 points scored in that first half for you guys.
Right.
What were some of the adjustments, just right quick, what were some of the adjustments? It ended up being, 64 points at the end for you guys.
So I think our ball movement was better. I think we started getting a little bit more out of the post, regardless of whether they were scoring or not. We didn't get a whole lot of scoring out of it. But what we did do is they were having to bring some double teams. And so what that did is that opened it up. And that's my fault. In the first half, I probably should have, had us more, go into the post. And, that's probably on me. So I got to do a better job for Saturday.
Well, Coach, we look forward to seeing what you guys can do on Saturday, and good luck with that.
Okay, you do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
You get these students, get them out. I know they got rushes going on this week. And they came out, but they just got here late. So see if they can get out a rush a little early to come. And hello, Caleb and Marissa over in Rome, Georgia. Love you guys.
Well, I'll see what I can do about that. Thanks.
Thanks.
You, Coach. Well, that was Coach Dallimore, and congratulations to him and his Tiger squad on a much-needed win. Now are just above 500 on the season. Well, in just about 17 minutes, we will have the separate men's basketball broadcast, so make sure to tune in to that. So thank you for tuning in. Have a good evening, and go Tigers.
I'm Nicole Auerbach from The Athletic.
Hey, this is Alex Pruitt with Sports Illustrated Magazine.
This is Kevin Kugler of Westwood One.
Hi, everybody. It's Pete Pranica of the Memphis Grizzlies and Fox Sports Southeast.
This is Danielle Musselman.
This is Kyle Peterson with ESPN.
This is Tom Hart of ESPN and the SEC Network. Thanks for tuning in to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.